Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is Tim, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past. This is the third part of the series. When we last left off, we had finished everything in Kakariki Village that we can do. Or Kakareko Village, however you say it. I know there's going to be like 50,000 comments. Oh my god, Tim, you're saying it wrong. Yeah, well, it is what it is. I call it what I call it. So with that being said, let's continue on. We are on our way to see the old man, who is the wise man of the village. He is right here. So we got a little walk to do. So I guess let's get started. The sooner the better, right? So we're going to go basically due east for a while. There are a lot of other side things that we can visit at this point, but I'm not going to do those yet because I want to get a few extra items and start getting Link a little more developed up first, and then we'll actually really start getting into, you know, the main gist of the story. Now there is one thing, if I can find it, that I want to go ahead and do. Not sure if it's over here. It may have been. Oops, I hit a booby trap. It may be on the other side. I think it's over here. Can't really remember. That's the graveyard, by the way. We'll get a whole lot out of it later too, when we pick up a few items. The rocks, you have to have a certain item to lift those, which we don't have yet. So we can't move them yet, but in time we will be able to. Couldn't remember if we could actually push open the grave sites, but we can. We just don't need to push those open because they're full of ghosts. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, there might be a little surprise right where that bush is at. Yeah, there is. Let's go down here and see what we got. I hear the fairy music, so I guarantee you there's a large fairy. There are several caves with big fairies like this in them. If you talk to the fairy, just like any Zelda game prior, this fairy will heal you. And being healed is always a good thing. I always like being healed. So, yeah. Nothing real big, but still, any opportunity to get healed up is a good opportunity in my book. So now we're going to keep working our way to the east. Now, the green armored enemies take 2 hits to defeat. The blue ones take 3. So, keep that in mind. The blue are always stronger than the green. You also have archers. These guys are a royal pain in the butt. But they give you arrows, so it's kind of good to have to run into them every now and again. Because as I keep promising, we're going to need those arrows pretty soon, actually. Possibly in this part. So you want to dodge these rock throwing guys. And you want to keep working your way to the right. And then up into this tunnel here. We're also going to want to work our way over there. But before that, let's go in this cave here and heal up. I'm pretty sure there's another fairy in this cave. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. Another fairy cave and another chance to heal, and healing is good. I don't believe there's anything back here, but let's just check to be sure. Because I think in 1 or 2 of the fairy caves, you actually find cracked walls back there that you can bust into. So we're going to work our way up here, and right up in this area here is where the wise man we're looking for should be. Unless he's moved out somewhere in the last 20-some years the game's existed, but I kind of doubt it. He should be in this house right here. There he is. I am indeed Sasharilla. is how I'm going to pronounce that. The village elder and a descendant of the 7 wise men. Oh, really, Tim? I'm surprised a young man like you is searching for the sword of evil bane. The sword of evil's bane. Not just anyone can use that weapon. Legends say only the hero who has won the 3 pendants can wield the sword. Do you really want to find it? You notice you get 2 choices here. Yeah? And of course. Point being, you're going to have to find them. Good. As a test, you can retrieve the pendant of courage. Let me read that again because I read it wrong. Good. As a test, can you retrieve the pendant of courage from the East Palace? If you bring it here, I will tell you more of the legend, and I will give you a magical artifact. Now go forward to the palace. Basically, he said go forth and conquer. Okay, old dude, no problem. We'll go forth and conquer. Dropping a bomb. And now we will go forth and conquer. 50 rupees here. There's some bombs. And 50 rupees there. 370 rupees. And now we're going to go this way. And we're going to go find the Eastern Palace, our first real dungeon in the game. If you don't count Hyrule Castle. So we're going to go this way. And we're going to go over here. These guys you got to hit several times. They come to life anytime you get near them, so this is bad. But it could be worse. Pick up some arrows here. And in we go. Okay, this is the Eastern Palace, our first real dungeon in the game. Now you will see that this side and the other side basically lead to dead ends. So obviously we need to go up the middle. So we're going to hit the button and we're going to go up the middle. Now it's kind of hard to see in the background, but there's a button in the floor here, which opens up the next door. Okay, so we got to be careful here. You got to kind of be careful and try to time it so that you walk between the cannonballs. Kind of like I did there. And you're going to go in the door up above. Now you can go left or right here. I'm going to take the left path first, I think. Maybe I'll take the right path first. I don't think it really matters which path you take. Just so, because I think you're going to have to take them both anyway. But if nothing else, it'll get rid of some of these enemies up here. And we'll get a few rupees. Because rupees are still a thing as of right now, anyway. If I fall down there, I'll just come out on the bottom. If I go in up here, what happens? Okay, I come in this room. There's an item that defeats these red fireball things, but I don't have it yet. I'll be getting it later. Alright, what's in the box? A map. The map of this dungeon. So now we can see the dungeon map. We can see that it's not a very big dungeon, only 2 floors. And from the looks of it anyway, we're going to want to go the other way and take care of that, but it's pretty much a cross in this area. There is an area above where we're at, but can't get in there yet. Looking for the doorway here. There's not one. Interesting. I thought there was a doorway to that side, but I guess I'm wrong. I swore there was a doorway right there. Let me double check. Because there's supposed to be some way you can get into that bottom area. Maybe I'm wrong. I must be, because I'm not getting in the wall. Alright, well, screw it. Okay, in this room, if I'm not mistaken, when I pick up this middle thing, yeah, that's what I thought. It spawns Stalfos, who I have to beat, to clear the room. Some rooms in Zelda, you have to clear the enemies in order to get the door to open back up. Okay, this is a compass. It will pinpoint the lair of the dungeon's evil master. You will now see on top, you see the skull in the upper left, well, the map's in the upper right. It'd be the upper left of the 2F part of the map. That is where the boss of the palace is. Then you come in here. We can't go that way, but we do have this strange tile. Tim, it is I, Sasharilla. I can talk to you telepathically when you touch these tiles. Here's a hint. You can use the treasure hidden in this palace to defeat armored foes. Awesome sauce. Good to know. Okay, so speaking of armored foes, these guys are the armored foes. Now we can use the treasure in the palace. We can also use our sword. You just got to remember with the armos, which I think is what those are called, you cannot attack them unless their eyeball is open. If their eye is closed, the weapon just bounces off, as you just saw. However, if their eyes are open, you can attack them as long as their eyes stay open. But when they fall asleep, it just bounces off again. So you want to attack those guys when the eyes are open. That brings us back in here, which is pretty much underneath where we already were. And it gives us this door, which I think will let us go into the room. Yeah, this lets us go into the rooms that I couldn't get into earlier. You want to watch these fireball things as usual. Oh, can't go through that door because I don't have a key yet. Bet you there's a small key in here. And of course it's dark as crap in here. And I don't see any way of lighting it up other than, there's the key, other than using the torch, so we'll kill the enemies. And grab what we can out of here. And now that we have the small key, we can go all the way around and get out. So I guess that's what that room was really built for, was so you could pick up the small key to get out the door. Oh, and it brings us across the top of the map again, too, which is kind of cool. And into this room here. Now, you want to go ahead and beat these Stalfos if you can. Some of them, not all of them, but there are some that will come along later that have sort of a red tint to them. These guys, the red ones, will throw their bones at you if you miss them as a projectile. So You don't want to get hit by those. Wake up, fool. Eat my sword. Eat my sword some more. Keep eating my sword. So once you defeat all the enemies in the room, these red fireball things kind of disperse, letting you get to the button, which creates the box, which has the big key. You got the big key. This is the master key of the dungeon. It can open the locks, the big locks that the small keys cannot. Now I want to take a quick look at the map here, see if there's anything I've missed. No, not so far. So let's go ahead and open this big door right here. And I knew we were going to get hit. By the way, not only do you take life damage from getting hit by those red fireball things, they also take magic from you. That is bad, so want to avoid those if you can. So this just loops us back around, but now that we have the big key, we can open up this big chest. Every dungeon in the game has at least one of these big chests. I think there might be one that has two, but I do know that every dungeon in this game at least has one of these big chests. And this big chest always contains an important item that you're going to need as you go along in your quest. In this case, it has the bow. You have found the bow. You can shoot arrows until you run out. And right now we have 30 arrows. Now we want to get out of here quick because these guys, yeah, they throw their heads at you. And you can't defeat their heads. You can defeat their bodies, but you can't defeat the heads. And that's bad. So now before I go in this door, if you jump into these little canisters, you will drop down into a little fairy area here where you can collect a fairy, keep it in the bottle, and pick up one to fill your life up. It's always a good thing to collect the fairies. Alright, let's go on through the teleporter here. Through the door, using our big key. And now we're into the next part of the dungeon. Now you remember what the old man told us about using our bow to defeat the armored foes. Well, let's do that. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, sorry about the pause there. We're back now. Didn't go anywhere. So where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so now that I've lit this torch, let me see if I can pop one of these bloopers. Well, I got that one. I didn't get the one I was aiming for, but that's alright. So you shoot these guys with an arrow and they go down in one hit. That's the whole point. It's much easier to defeat the Armos guys with an arrow. Which I would imagine if you got one eyeball and somebody shoots you in it, it would make sense anyway. Okay, we got two doors. We got one with a lock on it. And this one. We'll take this one first. This room is just a free coin room, or a free rupee room, but we definitely want to get the rupees, so collect those. Oh shoot. Well, one of my fairies is going to have to come back and revive me. This is why you keep fairies in a bottle. Especially early in the game, because you're weak as it is. So you definitely want to... Okay. You definitely want to keep fairies, just in case. That's why. Alrighty then. In the door we go. Alright. Hit the button. There we go. Grab a few arrows, hit the button. And we got Armoses here. So we'll shoot that one in the eyeball. We'll shoot this one in the eyeball. Take down two of them. That just shot to the side of him. That one shot him in the head, but he was already closing his eyes. His eye, I should say, not his eyes. And this game gives you plenty of arrows, so no worries on running out of those. Alright, so this is the cannonball room. You just want to do what I did and get out of there as quick as you can. You can't beat the cannonballs anyway. And all they're going to do is just get in your way. Now these red armors, you can't kill them any other way but arrows, which I don't have equipped. Whoops. The only way you can beat these guys is with arrows, so just pull them out, shoot him twice. And you will see the goat horn type of thing right there on the floor. That is a sure bet that you're getting ready to go into a boss dungeon. Now, in this particular case, you want to use the arrows to defeat the boss. So, let's take on our first boss. Well, not yet. We got one more room. I forgot about this room. Well, yeah, there's one more room, then we'll go take on the boss. Alright, there we go. 2. There's that. Okay. Now we're ready to take on the boss. Okay, so the easiest way to beat these guys is to just shoot arrows at them. You shoot a few arrows, they die. 3 of them to be exact, and you kill them. So just keep firing arrows, pick a corner and fire arrows, as many as you can get into them. Try not to waste any arrows, because at this point, we still only have 30, so. And when you get down to the last one turns red, and it hops around. Now you can still shoot arrows at them, or you can just attack them with your sword. I find the sword a little easier for me, just simply on the fact that, I mean, yeah, I can fire an arrow and hit him, but most of the time that right there happens. They jump over the arrows, so. But eventually, you'll take them down, you'll get your first heart container from a boss, and your first pendant in the game. So that's the Eastern Palace, guys. You won the Pendant of Courage. Take it to Sasharilla. 2 pendants remain. Alright, so let's go see the old man real quick, and we'll probably call it a episode. Alright, we're going to work our way up here. Basically, all this should look semi-familiar to you if you've watched this Let's Play so far. I actually went too far up. I should have gone over here. And up here, back to the old man's house. Whoops. Alright, so it's up here. Come on now. Seriously? There we go. Gonna go down here. And we're gonna go into the old man's house. Oh, you've got the Pendant of Courage. Now I will tell you more of the legend. 3 or 4 generations ago, an order of knights protected the royalty of Helia. These knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pendant of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the Great War against evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. Among the descendants of the Knights of Hyrule, a hero must appear. I see, Tim. I believe you. You should get the remaining pendants and carry this with you. This is a treasure passed down by the families of the wise men. I want you to have it. He gives you the Pegasus shoes. Now you can execute a devastating dash attack. Hold the A button for a short time. A helpful item is hidden in the cave on the east side of Lake Hylia. Get it. Okay, so now we gotta go get the other 2 pendants, which he marks on the map. But most importantly, he gives us the Pegasus shoes, which allow Link to run. Now, if we have cracks in some walls, we don't even have to have bombs. We can just run into them. These shoes open up a whole lot of other stuff in the game, and that's really cool. And we'll get into that stuff in the next part. This is a good stopping spot for now for this part. So, thank you for watching as always. This is Tim, signing off. Thank you for watching The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and we'll see you in part 4.